Hey guys, it's your supervisor for Dane County District 16. Just want to thank you all so much for the last year. Yes, on April 5th, I began my second half of my first term as your elected official. So thank you so much for that opportunity. I did send out an email newsletter to folks to update them on the great accomplishments we as a team have accomplished. All of you that participate in various initiatives I was a part of, my fellow supervisors who have worked with me on things, staff at the Dane County Board of Supervisors, Chairman Miles, just a lot of people in the community who have really helped make an impact in our community to make it a brighter, bolder, better Dane County. In review, I was appointed to 4 committees and subcommittees from the executive himself of Dane County, and also from the board of supervisor chair. So, Mr. Prezy, Mr. Miles, I want to thank you both for these appointments. I sat on the Public Protection Judiciary Committee, University of Wisconsin Extension, Area Agency on Aging Board, and its Legislative Advisory Subcommittee, and the Equal Opportunity Commission. Very grateful to serve on those commissions and the work that they do. Also, I was able to co-sponsor over 70 pieces of legislation, and I'm proud to say that all 100% of those passed. So my record so far is 100% successful. So thank you for the support and ideas you guys have brought to my attention for this first half of my term, and I look forward to the second half as well. Some examples of those that I listed in the newsletter I will highlight here. They include everything from, and I read appropriately from a list to get the titles correct of these resolutions. Number 1, authorizing Wisconsin Department of Justice grant funding for a safe neighborhood project. Number 2, Dane County Conservation Fund grant awarded to the Madison Area Food Pantry. Number 3, awarding a collective bargaining agreement in the Building and Construction Trade Council of South Central Wisconsin, a group that's been very supportive of the work I do. Number 4, awarding major contracts for food pantry aid. This is ARPA money that came to us from the feds and how it was distributed here in our county. Moving on, I've lost track of numbers here. Supportive access to abortion care. This was a big issue where the state isn't protecting reproductive rights of women or childbearing people. We really came down and said in Dane County they will be safe, and we created a sanctuary. Establishing an equity food program for 2022. As you see, the cause of making sure people have food is a very dear thing to me. Authorizing the Dane County Conservation Fund grant award to the Ice Age Trail Alliance. So it's quite a variety of things that we accomplished this year. I also want to say 2 programs I'm very proud of being a co-sponsor and sponsor on. The first co-sponsoring with Alex George, Supervisor George from the West Side, was the Gift for Guns program. This was administered by the Dane County Sheriff's Office as a response to the July 4th Highland Park shooting. The alleged shooter there was said to have been in Madison and was planning an attack here in Dane County. Fortunately, that didn't come out, but we wanted to make sure and signal to the community after that event that we can be a safer community by forfeiting our guns and receiving rewards for being a part of that. So through that action, gift cards were given out to people that turned in over 577 weapons, including a crossbow. 380 pounds of ammunition were surrendered by over 250 vehicles, which passed through during a 4-hour inaugural event. I have reached out to Sheriff Barrett and also Alex George about doing that again this year. We don't need an event like happened today, actually, down in the city of Louisville. Our hearts and thoughts are with our friends down there. I reached out to my friends here this morning to make sure they were safe and to extend my condolences and thoughts for healing for that community. We don't need an event like that to happen. We can be proactive and do events like the Gifts for Guns. And then also sponsoring and being a leader here in our harm reduction and prevention acts. This was an act that came forward in November. It went into play. It increased the current opioid recovery allocation of the county of $1.6 million by $750,000. It also created 2 positions to be devoted to work with people that are in the time of crisis when they're making a decision to use or abuse substances. So very grateful for the work we did there. Alongside Supervisor Eicher, our former board chair, I was also able to co-sponsor an amendment in the 2023 budget to grant $1 million to a nonprofit that is creating $15 million permanent supportive recovery housing. It's a pilot that we will be doing here in our district, actually District 16. So I'm very proud of that. I also was able to author a proclamation celebrating these great events: LGBTQ Pride Month, Disability Pride Month, International Overdose Awareness Month, and Developmental Disability Month, and World Down Syndrome Day, which was last month. I am grateful to have been also asked by my colleague, Supervisor Aaron Collins, to deliver a proclamation for the Respect for Marriage Act, thanking U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin, who also sat here on the Dane County Board years ago as she began her career, and thanking her for the leadership on this Respect for Marriage Act, which protects marriage, biracial marriages, and also same-sex marriages nationally. So I am grateful to have done that. I was the top supervisor to write these proclamations. The number of proclamations, I hold the record for it, so I'm proud of that. I believe it's very important to honor those in our community that are doing great work, and I know these proclamations really touch these people. I also want to say another thing, speaking of rewarding and honoring people, was I was proud to be part of 34 county officials. I was proud to be on a board that honored 34 county employees who served our residents here in Dane County for over 25 years. You can see all these things by following my blog on the Dane County Supervisor page online, or by following me on social media, of course, on Facebook or wherever you're seeing this video, or on my website, also Rick Rose for Dane County. I was also selected during my first term to attend the NACO, the National County Association Annual Conference, which was held in Denver last July, along with 3 other supervisors, those being Supervisors Husselman, Pelibon, and Kigea. We learned a lot about how national counties work, or how counties work across our nation, and it was a great learning opportunity. 2 other initiatives that I sponsored or promoted and took on firsthand. One, I organized an initiative for freshman supervisors to learn how county governments work. I'm grateful for our friends at the Wisconsin County Association who put that on for us, and went through everything from Robert's Rules to budgetary practices to legislative actions, and just learning about the power we do have to represent our constituents and neighbors. And then in December, I was asked by Chair Miles and by the county staff to spearhead and lead the county side of the 2022 city and county combined campaign to support local and national nonprofits during the holiday season. I'm proud to say that we beat last year's total gifts by 4.5 times. But who's counting, right? And increased the number of participants by 25%. The county employees, including we as supervisors, contribute over $96,000 to various community charities. So I'm very proud to have been appointed that. And as you see, I take my tasks very seriously. Just this week, I was also asked by the chair to work on a plan for outreach, which is part of my 5 key tenets that I ran on, or I should say 4 key tenets that I ran on. That was a very big honor to be able to have a meeting, which will start this week. We will kick it off and really work on how we can let county residents know what county government does and how they can be a part of that. More on that to follow on future video blogs and also on my social media and here on my blog, Dane County Supervisors. So, my missions are really working within this county to make people understand county government, which we just talked about, to create a safe plan for children and families. More on that later. Those are deep conversations and a very important conversations, work for sustainability within our county, to reduce our jail population, and to put people in the right beds, whether it's medical care or substance abuse beds, versus putting them in a jail that we will be building over the next couple of years. And then also addressing the expansion and development of Dane County, specifically here on the east side. You've seen posts on that as well. Very proud to be a part of that. And then finally, a big highlight for me was being on the dais of Groundhog Day in Sun Prairie. Congratulations to the mayor in Sun Prairie. He was elected again this last term, and congratulations to our Mayor Madison for getting a second re-election in the April midterm our spring elections. But it was great. We have a groundhog there named Jimmy the Groundhog, and I was on stage with him, and also Supervisors Yang and Eicher to kick off more snowy months, which seem today, as weather heads into the 70s here in Dane County, to be melting away. So thank you for your time, and thank you for our first great year, half of a good year. Here's to the second half.